It's wonderful to see you all here. It's wonderful to see everyone so eager to get networking and meeting old faces, get to know new faces. The Fingenious is all about collaboration. As you can see, all the main players in the Finnish healthcare systems, more or less, are involved in Fingenious, and this we hope to see grow and grow going forward. We have, as said, a great lineup of speakers today, and we'd also hope to see excellent discussion on the topics of today. So both everyone attending this session over Zoom and all of you here present in Messukeskus today, we'd encourage you to use Menti to provide any feedback and questions to the speakers. So here you can see what to do. Please browse to menti.com and enter this code 9535373, and then you will be allowed to provide any comments or questions to the speakers. We'll have a couple of minutes after each speaker for the questions that have been received. With that, let's move forward with the program. And first we have a brief video welcome speech by Minister Aki Lindén, so the Finnish Minister of Family Affairs and Social Services.
Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, as a minister responsible for health, as a parliamentarian, as a former head of a university hospital, and as a physician, it is an honor for me to welcome you to learn more about the Finnish approach to health research and development and the Fingenious ecosystem. Finland puts strong emphasis on the secondary use of social and health data. Our Act on the secondary use, effective since 2019, is among the first of its kind globally. The goal of this legislation is to facilitate effective, safe and secure processing and access to the personal, social and health data. The secondary use of data creates possibilities for research, development and better knowledge management for advancing health and well-being. A data permit authority has been established to facilitate processes related to the secondary use of data. At the EU level, the Commission has recently put forward a proposal for a European health data space. Finland has actively contributed to this process already in its preparatory phase. Finland is also contributing to the EU-level preparation. The EU joint action as the health data space called TEHDAS has been coordinated by Finnish Innovation Fund Sitra. For Finland, the main priority is on improving the use of data for health and biotechnical research. In this, we emphasize the whole of society approach and close collaboration between the private and public sectors. The Fingenious ecosystem has a strong basis on these principles. The ecosystem brings together broad knowledge and expertise on research. It is a platform for customers and service providers for future collaboration. Considering the common challenges, the nature of research and development collaboration, and the rapidly evolving technologies, Finland underlines the importance of international cooperation and discussion on the theme. I believe this event provides a great opportunity to exchange ideas and form new partnerships. I wish you a successful event and insightful discussions.
So thank you, Minister Aki Lindén. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it in presence today, but maybe even more excitingly, we have a very senior professional from the same ministry. So please welcome Liisa-Maria Voipio-Pulkki, the Chief Medical Officer and Senior Advisor from the Ministry of Social Affairs and Health. So Liisa-Maria, wonderful to have you here today. You are really one of the driving forces and key persons behind the healthcare growth strategy in Finland, the terveysalan kasvustrategia in Finnish. So what would you say are in your opinion, are the most important goals of the growth strategy?
Thank you, first of all, for the invitation. And I'm quite sure that if Minister Lindén would be able to attend this meeting, he would strongly emphasize the value of everything that's behind the Fingenious ideology and then what it will come out of it. So I'm trying to do my best to sort of compensate for him not being present here. Well, the question was actually quite intriguing. What are the main goals, in my opinion? If I remember the very first times when I attended the planning meetings a long time ago, it was pretty evident that one of the main fears was that Finland would lose its position as a favored site for clinical research, particularly pharmaceutical, in the eyes of the pharmaceutical industry. So that was pretty clear starting point, and it's still there as an incentive. But then we realized at some point that we need the cooperation between 3 ministries and 2 funding organizations to be able to even cover that field somehow comprehensively. So I think that the basic idea was how to cover the death valleys that prevent us from being successful in clinical and particularly pharmaceutical research. Then afterwards, there have been other aspects like the biobank-based research, not entirely or directly attached to drug development, and technological research, new ways to organize care, new care patterns and so on. But in the eyes of the ministry, from our responsibility, it pretty soon became evident that we need to improve our legislation. And the goal of enabling legislation is still there. And we, once again, need all 3 ministries to take that goal further. Nowadays, I think the main goals are that we try to improve the platforms where stakeholders can meet. Finnish companies, and why not foreign companies, need references. So one of the big changes has been opening up the culture in our health and social care system for trials and getting references for companies for their products. And then, in the end of the day, I think it's enabling the continuous renewal of our health and social care service system.
Excellent. And the legislation is definitely very important when it comes to the use of data and the fair use of data. And that's been a big topic lately, the healthcare data and how to use it. So what makes healthcare data so valuable?
Yes. This was a philosophical question to me when we discussed a little bit what kind of questions might be raised here. Data is information. And if we think about the Fingenious brand, which is the topic of this side event, it's based on the biobank samples, but samples per se don't take us anywhere. It is the data together with the samples that makes information valuable to us. And I wrote down for myself that go beyond the expected. The data tells us new stories all the time.
Wonderful, and I hope this is really what we can achieve together. If the data tells us something, what in specific can Finnish data tell us? Is there something specific in the healthcare data of Finland compared to maybe some other countries?
Well, maybe it's typical of Finns that we always think about where we have made mistakes and flaws and shortages and gaps in our health and social care data. But on the other hand, if we look upon many other countries, we should be sort of a little bit proud of what we have achieved. The last phase of this was that when the new legislation on the secondary use of health and social data became into action, and particularly into implementation, that put a focus on where we actually still need to improve. That's quite a brave deed, I think. Well, if we think about some certain disease categories or health problems where Finland could be in the forefront, I think that our diabetes research community deserves big credit here. There's everything from basic research to clinical research, health quality, health outcomes, and organizational aspects of care. And another thing that came to my mind, which is pretty new and also based on biobank research, is schizophrenia. It's a mental disease. I think that the opportunities to do research in the field of mental disease, which causes a whole lot of suffering to mankind, Finland is perhaps one of the optimal places to do that kind of research.
Great. That sounds like a wonderful opportunity and a huge unmet clinical need. So if there's a case like that, how could the Fingenious Ecosystem then help solve problems like that, get the value out of the healthcare data?
Well, when we talk about research, medical research, in the first place, it's quite competitive. And it's difficult, even a small country like Finland, to create true cooperation between actors. And from the ministry's point of view, the Fingenious experience has been almost hilarious, because it's one of the really successful attempts to bring actors together. It's still a little bit like, I don't know why it was so successful. Somehow the atmosphere, it started under very good stars or something. But from our point of view, from the ministry's point of view, this creates efficiency to our system. Away from fragmentation towards cooperation, competition will still be there, but it's all about capacity building and increasing our ability to respond to requests, both domestic and from other countries, even globally. And I think that this is really the beginning of a real success story.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your insights. Do you have any other opening words for the audience here today?
Well, we are still in the beginning, although we shouldn't underestimate the value of low-hanging fruits and small and medium-sized steps forward. But how do you define success? I think it's that you won't stop in making progress. Somebody said that we are here not to solve problems, but to make progress. And I think that is the atmosphere that I see and sense in the Fingenious ecosystem. Good luck and congratulations.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.